It's your favorite emergency medical technician's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at Maketoys Himed, which is their take on first aid. I'll tell you, this is probably my least favorite in some ways so far. I'll get that straight out of the way, but I gotta tell you, man, like, I've been doing so many reviews recently. Like, I got Marvel Legends stuff all locked and loaded and all sorts of stuff ready to go, and my back is killing me, like, from being hunched over this camera. It's making me start to feel like an old man.
Can you believe these gas prices? Hey, get off my lawn. Don't give me the finger, you little brat. I know your parents. How many remote controls do you need for one television?
He comes with this single accessory. Nothing really special about it. Single cast. Some decent line work, not a lick of paint. Typical kind of stuff. For him, his head is actually on a hinge swivel, which works really well. Gets all that up, gets a little bit down, I think enough, and then the swivel works fine. White paint on the face and blue paint on the eyes, and I got a little hair or fuzz or something in the white paint on the face, but what are you going to do? Cleans up fairly well. We got this back here, which isn't the cleanest, all this stuff kind of hanging on, but from, you know, the profile shot in the back, cleans up fairly well. The shoulders are a little wonky, and they have a tendency to come out, but they're on this piece here, which hinges and is supposed to stay tabbed in, but mine is constantly, when I manipulate it, coming out. Translucent red there, color breakup wise. We got silver paint there, and that's, or it might be gray paint. And that's pretty much the end of it. Ball jointed shoulders, so you get the swivel all the way around. You get the outward movement up to there. You can also cheat and break the sculpt and get all that, but it totally destroys it. But for pictures and stuff, you could cheat it, and no one would really be any the wiser. And then you can cheat that as well if you wanted to get more of an upward, except you can't get around that piece. Let's see if you can go all the way this way. You can go all the way that way around, and that would work. But it's not the intended method. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, getting you full range. Wrist swivel, yep. And that does it for the arm. The other one is identical, joint tolerance wise, all the same, and it's all fine. Waist swivel at this piece above the pelvis, which is always a little strange to me, but it works. And then we got an ab crunch too, getting you the full range, which is nice. They're using the joint for the combiner. They're doubling it and using it as an ab crunch for the figure, which is quite smart. Chest wise, we got paint up in there. The white is a different piece of plastic, but still a good piece of color breakup, and it has like the cross thing, which kind of keeps to the ambo theme, right? Blue paint in there, that looks good. I don't know if I said that. T-jointed ball joints for hips, getting you all the way out to there, up to there, back to there, so none of that is a problem. Thigh swivel, not a lick of paint on either. The knees. So they work, they're single hinged, but they are ugly, Mac. Yeesh. That is ugly. And you can't even get that all the way around to cover it up. It's functional, but it's ugly. So, yeah. And then you got well, you got paint here, this red stripe there, that looks good. The blue on there, that looks good. The red here, that all looks good. Wheels look a little cheap and cheesy to me, but they're there. And then you have an ankle tilt using the ball joint into the foot, and then rocker using the hinge up into there, into the ankle. And they work, but I'll tell you, I'm having a hard time a lot of times getting him to stand. I think a flip out heel spur would have really helped this guy. That worked well. So it's not terrible, but a lot of times, like when I posed him for pictures and stuff, I did find him causing me a little bit of grief in that regard. So yeah, not the best, but he does, you know, if you get him posed right, he does look good. And I feel like there's a little bit of IDW vibe with him. So yeah, there he is. Size comparison wise, there he is with MMC's Impactor and with Combiner Wars First Aid. Let's get him transformed. Open these pieces up here and over here. Rotate the foot inward rotate the ankle up. Same on the other side. And then you collapse this piece by untabbing it from that white section there, bringing it down. Same on the other side. Untab, bring it down. Then you can kind of tab these pieces together. They're on a weird kind of notching system, but they'll tab together just fine. You can rotate these pieces up as well, I believe. Alright, you can spin that 180 and just get that done. Push the head back, bring this piece up. This will eventually go in there. Sometimes I do it just to kind of give me a point of reference of where things need to be. Because of the rocker, the ab crunch, and all that stuff inside, it can kind of confuse you. Maybe you might be able to spin that head around too, otherwise you're doing a little peekaboo, isn't he? But whatever. Rotate these pieces here, and they tab into the front bumper. And that's why you don't do that quite yet, but I just do it because I get discombobulated. Alright. Now this part here is where it gets a little tricky, and it's just a matter of getting these arms lined up quite right. So open these up here, give yourself as much room as you can. What needs to happen is, in order to stay oriented, like this needs to come like this, and then these need to come up, and this tab here needs to go in actually. I wonder if this is turn around here, if that'll help. No, can't. That tab into that notch. Collapse the hands a little bit. There. That's like the general shape. Same on the other side. Collapse the hand. Tab it in. Rotate these pieces back around. Use them to try to help push everything together. And lock all your Maketoys tabs. There you go. He's a cute little fella. Rolls just fine. Paint all looks good on both. Translucent plastic. I haven't checked to see if you can twist that head around so you can hide it. But I hate the way, I'm not big on translucent plastic in general, but I hate the way that this is one shade of blue and then the window here is a different shade of blue. Like, I would have preferred it just be painted. Just be painted, give it an animated look, and be done with it. The translucent parts look good, except the translucent doesn't match the red here in the back, so that's kind of a unfortunate thing. You can plug in this gun into the back side if you'd want to, but really, why would you want to? But that option is available to you. Other than that, he's alright. Cute little fella. The window here, too, like just the mold, like that's a bummer. Like it's kind of a wash there, isn't it? So, not the best alt mode they've ever done, but I think it looks G1 accurate. I think it's good enough, and I think most people are in it for either robot mode or combined mode. So if one place was going to fall short, I'm okay with it being this place. Final thoughts wise, this one's a little interesting. I feel like the transformation's generally better. Like the tabs, all those tabs at the end are once again frustrating, but for the most part, it's a lot better. The legs are easier and kind of more intuitive and don't give you as much grief as usual. It's just that in the end, it comes down to 6 tabs in 6 places, and getting them all lined up can be a bit of a bear. Accessory's a bit of a throwaway, but that's what we've come to expect. The paint looks good. Where it is applied, it looks pretty good. It's well done. It's well applied. It's well thought out. The articulation's top shelf. I do feel like in general that this line has had an action figure element that's been second to none. And I feel like this one loses a little bit of that. Not a lot, but a little bit of that. It's problems in the knees with the aesthetic, and then it's problems with the shoulders staying tabbed together in all the right places. It's still there. The action figure element is definitely still there, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's as good as the other two in that respect. But I like the aesthetic of this one over both of the other ones. Definitely groove in a little bit over Streetwise, because this does have an IDW element to it that I really enjoy. I think that overall it's worth it, and I think that combine mode is going to be something to behold, especially for a chug shelf or something like that. This is going to end up being my alt set. I'm obsessed with the combiners. I always have been. I love teams. I've just come to the realization that I'm going to have 3 representations of each, one for bot mode, one for combine mode, and one for alt mode. So this, in the end, will be my alt mode set, but I do enjoy the way that this line is shaping up overall. It's just that those things that continue to plague Maketoys, transformations that aren't enjoyable, and it's not because they're challenging. It's because it's frustrating getting everything to line up. Like, there's a difference there. Like, a lot of Badcube stuff is challenging. A lot of Maketoys stuff is frustrating, I feel like. Just because everything has to be aligned to the nth degree. You know, which is where I feel like they lose a lot of their fun factor. And it's a shame because their action figures are usually super fun. I mean, this guy, the whole line, you can pose them all day long, and it's like every pose you put them in just looks great. But I do feel like you lose a little bit here just because of like stuff like the knees, and it is a little kibbly weird, but shoulders coming up tab, stuff like that. But overall, it's par for the course with the way the line is shaping up. It has a few advantages in aesthetics, and it has a few disadvantages in sculpt. So I hope that helps shine some light on it, so to speak. And thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.